overlook our little small area here. We kind of got stuff everywhere. A lot going on. We got a list, Battle Bama. So battle. Road to Dega. Battle to Dega. The E? There we go.
There it is.
Helps you spell. So we tried to compile a little list of what we got to do. 63, 83, because we got both. There's a lot going on. We still got the flooring and the paint the bumper. This paint we put on the 63 is just some tractor paint from Tractor Supply. It's nothing fancy. I sprayed it with some high build just to kind of get some of the rust out, the pits, and anyway, we plan on painting it overall later on, but right now, just for the show, we're gonna make it look pretty good. I got swatches coming in from Seatbelt Direct, I think it is. Once that gets here, we'll show you that too. The High Country seats, we were trying to match the seat belts, so hit them up. They got some swatches coming, like 5 different colors to choose from. Wipers, still got to paint the stainless to match, but we finally got the switch retainer's nut. We had to reorder, or I say reorder, we had to order. LMC or nobody actually online supplies that retainer nut, so anybody that is doing one of these trucks that take the retainer nuts, y'all better pay attention if you're gonna buy them, needing it quick, because you can't put it together. It has to ground out on the dash too, so that's what makes it work. Door seals and then the exhaust. So we ended up taking the exhaust off. We're putting Black Widow 10s on it, Widowmaker, and Beltech. So shocks. So when we dropped the truck, we had like a 5-inch spring or 6-inch spring. I think it's 6-inch spring. Yeah, we went with 6-inch in the rear, and I had ordered some cheap shocks from like AutoZone online. They were like 30 bucks, but I didn't account for the drop in the truck. So when we hit a bump, it's like just, you know, like if you're riding a wave. We do need the relocation kit for the mounts. We're not going to do that right now. The degree of the angle of the shock is off, but we got online and ordered some Beltech. So just for right now, to get us through the trip to Dega, it may or may not help, but these are supposed to be, I think, I seen on there for like a 7-inch, up to 7-inch. I've seen some says up to 6-inch drop. So we'll do an unboxing. Just wanted to let you guys see what comes in the box. Beltech Performance. We actually ordered these through Summit. Had like a little discount thing going because of all the stuff that we bought. So they're a little bit cheaper to get them through there than order them straight through Beltech. Bang. Still waiting on y'all. So anyway, we come with some, you know, drop 2 shocks. Yeah. Oh, I wanted to mention this. This is the number, the 2208AA. Those are for the drop setup. So if you order them for 60 through 66 C10s, you got to pay attention to that, because they got one that's not actually made for the drop shock as OEM replacement. But just seeing if there's anything on here that you guys may be interested in. Pin bushings. It's pretty much self-explanatory putting it back on, but this is the installation instructions that come with it, which is nice. And they boxed it pretty well. And we got some cushion there to keep from any retaining straps to help put them on. And there's the Beltech Street Performance. So the other ones were kind of, I don't know, I was just seeing what the resistance was. Maybe a little bit firmer there, but from what I read online, it counts more down toward the bottom when these things get slammed, hit the bump, it doesn't let the truck, you know, drop so hard. Because right now you can kind of put your finger on it and it just
What the hell is even that? Get everybody.
So we're hoping this fixes the problem for that. Because that 30-gallon tank, you know, if we put, I've been trying to run like maybe 75 to maybe 80% fuel, because you know our fuel gauge is percentages, not 3/4 or whatever traditional. So we run about 80% fuel in it, and it gives us a ride. But that way, in case somebody wants to pull up and lose a little money on the way up there, we got something to hook some traction. But this will help keep our feet planted to the ground, hopefully. And we got about 160, maybe 160 something miles. So we're getting ready, getting excited. And the 83, we still got paint, which I don't know if y'all keep it up with the channel. Had a little preview of that. Gonna get some more video on this for you guys to see. I said it was moisture problems, but I think shame on us. Like I say, this was my first paint job. Didn't really know. I treated it with some rust treatment and the spots that was bad, but after sanding down the spots that looked kind of weird and the delam, we had some surface rust between the epoxy primer and the metal, and I'm assuming that came from the rust treatment. We used Permatex, but this time around we ordered some fast etch from Eastwood. That's the kind of paint we use, kind of primer we use. So the contouring body filler, we use it. So this time around, we're having to strip the 2 front fenders, the rear bed on the driver's side, and 2 doors. The rear passenger's bed and tailgate was okay. The hood's okay and the roof, but we are gonna paint the whole truck. So we're gonna scuff it down just with like some 400 or 500 grit on the spots that we don't, or the panels we don't have to repaint all the way down. But for those panels, we're stripping them down to nothing but bare metal. And the fast etch is supposed to just spray on, and it zinc coats those panels so we don't have surface rust until we get ready to hit it with some epoxy. But we did order epoxy, we got it in. I ordered some encapsulator stuff from Eastwood too, but we probably won't use that on that. And then we got 2K urethane primer. So our intentions are bare metal, fast etch, get all the rust completely gone this time. Absolutely no rust whatsoever, because we don't want to redo this again. Because I was wondering what was going on, because we kept fixing the problem, but we were fixing, like, you know, we didn't see underneath until we sanded all the way down what was actually causing the problem, because it was lifting the paint. We sanded that off and then it was getting smooth, so I was like, oh, well, it must be something with the paint. Well, it wasn't. It was actually deeper than that. It was the surface of the metal causing it to shrink in, and then it was expanding as it grew. The rust grew, it was pushing the paint out to form that contour of that rust. So we're learning. Like I say, that's the reason I didn't buy that $600 gallon paint. Eastwood, it's you know, you can get like the activator and the paint like $100 or something, 150. But anyway, we learn on that. So this is our list. We're trying to keep to this. We got the AC lines in, sway bar bushings. We got those. We got to do some heat shields for the headers, because since we put those in, those long tubes, heats the floorboards up. But we got a small list, and we got what is it? About 26 days until the show. So hopefully this week we get the panels finished, sanding them down, get some epoxy on the next day or so. And my goal is to put the 2K on next week, because we want to let it sit for a couple of days, 2 or 3 days. I love a week, but I don't know if we can do that. We're gonna get tight on deadline, but to let the 2K shrink in, any of those sanding scratches and stuff like that, you want to give it a little time to draw in. And then once we get that done, that'll leave us a week prior to the show. So if we could get paint, you know, maybe the week before, which would be the 19th. We get the 19th, I think we'll be good. So if we're gonna sprinkle all this stuff in along the way. We tore the 63 down yesterday, the exhaust, and we got to take the seats back out and stuff like that, put this floor in, but shouldn't be really too much to it. But we're gonna give y'all a ride along the way, let you see the problems we've dealt with and the solutions we found to fix the problem. So, but the Beltech, everybody says they're good to go. So definitely won't happen this year on the 63, but we wanted to go ahead and get this because my intentions are next year probably. I don't foresee getting to it this year just because of all the, I mean, the money that's been going into everything so far. Y'all can kind of take a peek at what we got here. This is what happens when you have two trucks and UPS and FedEx come to your house usually once every day. You know, if they don't, they do a welfare check. Welfare check. So this is the boxes just from this week. So that's the reason the airbags are not happening this year. So next year, probably first of the year maybe, airbags, you know, going in, we're gonna have to do maybe a C notch, but the Beltech will get us until then. And then we still gotta put the bed in it. So anywho, we got a Black Widow spray gun from Harbor Freight. Again, that's gonna be the second time we're gonna use it to shoot. But once we get this thing dialed in, I think we'll be good to go. We could paint that 63 and get it dialed in, hopefully, and we'll be good. But just want to show y'all these Beltech shocks. I mean, everything is nice and shiny, and you know, I think it's going to help out. Those other shocks seem like when you compress them down by hand, they're a little easier. So we'll take and when we get ready to put those on, probably gonna wait till later on this evening when it's a little cooler out. We got the C10 in the shop, so we got stuff strode out there for painting. I don't want to kind of get in the way, but up here on the carport, it's beaming right now in the sun, and we'll probably wait till right before dark and go out and throw these on. It won't take but 20 minutes, maybe 30, and swap that out. And we're gonna show y'all how the bed, I mean, how everything's kind of shaky. You can kind of just shake the truck all over the place. Now, I will say, going from what we did to the AutoZone shocks, night and day difference. So if this is anything like what we dealt with that, that'd be pretty sweet. But right now, I mean, we don't have bump stops and we're slamming. So, you know, we'll probably still slam out and hit the, you know, the frame will hit the axle. But I don't think it's, the rate I think is gonna, this will slow it down a little bit where it doesn't just like bam, you know. So we're just milliseconds, just, I mean, as soon as you hit the bump, it's just bam, it's there. It sounds like you're tearing out the rear end of the truck. Everybody that's did the OG static drop like we did, y'all know what I'm talking about. This is like the 80s, man, the 80s and 90s. When you drop one out, I can remember in high school during my 90 heyday, we used to hit bridges and bumps, and it was just a awful ride. And that's what we got outside. So no pun intended there with the rhyming, but we want to show you what we got. We appreciate y'all sticking us out, and hope y'all subscribe. We're fixing to make some makeshift doors for this shop just so we can get some paint on. We're just running out of time. So right now we're prioritizing, trying to see what we need to do most. But we did get the walls up. We'll give y'all a look at that. That's the headquarters. We told y'all it was coming. And still gotta get some lights. But anyway, we're about to go hit this paint, try to get everything scuffed up. And I'm still waiting on my fast X to come in. UPS is supposed to be bringing it today. As soon as it gets here from Eastwood, we'll give y'all a rundown, show you what it looks like, how it works, because right now I've just thrown some paint back on a rattle can to keep it from surface rusting, because we stripped it all the way back down. We had probably a 3 mil, maybe even a 4 mil build up over the metal where we were, where we primered and painted. Then of course some skim coats in there from body filler, so we're taking all that garbage off, and it hurts my feelings because, dude, there was some man hours on that. But you ready?
Oh yeah.
Me too, man. I'm about ready to get this over, but y'all be with us. We like to show y'all what we screw up just as much as we show you what we fix up. So maybe y'all learned something along the way, because I watched a ton of videos before I did this, try to pick people's minds on paint, and I mean, hey, it's a learning curve. So you're not always gonna know all the answers, but as long as you figure the problem out, and fix it and correct it. So I have extensively researched with Eastwood, called them, talked to them. They recommended the Fast Etch. So y'all check out their website, YouTube channel. Kevin is on there. He does all their paint work. Dude's got some super educational videos. I think he's got some classes he actually does, some paint education is what he calls it. Dude's got like tons of information, so super helpful. That's kind of, I went with somebody that's kind of a professional versus your mom and pop deal, because you can get lost for days on content, reading this guy did this guy did that, this worked, this don't work. So to kind of put all that aside, because you need to focus on one thing. So because if you start mixing and mingling, this process, that process, and then something don't work out, you don't know where you went wrong. So we went with Eastwood and Kevin's videos and information like that. So it kind of is a no-brainer. So y'all follow him, check him out. A lot of detail there. But here we go. We're just gonna get after it.